Yes. So today we are gonna see what's the dynamic, dynamic ransomware analysis. Here, what we will do, we will execute a binary ransomware. Then we'll see what process it creates. While running on an actual system, the system is getting infected. We'll see what and all the process it is creating. The next thing we'll check dynamically is that what and all the execution of this ransomware does to the system, to the file system. We'll see what changes that this ransomware will make in the file system. We'll see these two things here. So to get the information what happens at the process level in the system, we'll be using a utility that's available with us on the Windows system. That utility is called the Process Explorer. We will be using this utility to check what and all the process that are getting created on the execution of the ransomware on the system. The second thing is that to monitor what are the different changes that are happening to the file system level, we will be using one more utility that is available with us. That's called the procmon. This is actually a process monitor. Both of these, procmon and the process explorer, is available with us in the sys internals. If we want to check like what are the different network activities that are happening at the system during the execution of the ransomware, we can see that also using using a tool that's called the Wireshark. I'm skipping this Wireshark in this session. I'm not giving the demo of it, but for the first two, like the checking what are the different processes that are creating on the execution of the ransomware, and what are the changes that are happening to the file system level using the proc one. That these two things I'll be covering. So, mm, uh, I'll stop my slides here. I'll go to the demo directly, and I'll come back to the slides once again once I'm done. So, videos. I'm starting my virtual machine once again. See, this is the same settings that we are been using from last 2 days. Here we are having all the, here in this I have already downloaded this called the sys internals. This is basically a tool set that's available with us on the Windows. It's having various utilities that are there, just like the monitoring the change that are happening at the disk. We are having that. What are the different things that are happening at the file system level? That's the Procmon. We are having that thing here also. What are the different processes that are getting created? That's being tracked by the process explorer. मतलब majority of the utilities that we can use to check what are the different things that are happening at the cache level, at the DRAM level, at the file system level, at the process level. All are covered under this sys internal utilities. So currently we'll be using only these two, Procmon and the Process Explorer. Process Explorer. Process Explorer is there to give you the information what are the different processes that are getting created, and Proc, this Process Explorer will give you the different information about the different types of the processes that are getting created once the ransomware binary is getting executed. Similarly, this Procmon is the other utility that will let you to track the changes that are happening on the file system level. So to check this, what we'll do, we'll directly once again execute a ransomware and paying it for the last time, like how can we get the ransomware binary and how we can execute it. I'll do the same thing, like I'll download another ransomware binary. directly downloaded it. Then, then we'll see. We'll try to extract it. I have already told you that it will not get extracted by the default extractor that we are showing available either with Windows or with the Linux. We'll have to use another extractor that's called the 7zip. So I'll extract the files here. It will ask me the password. The password I already know is encrypted. And then here we'll see that yes, it has been extracted. Now it will directly not get executed. First of all, we have to change the name of this binary as the .exe. .exe. Now it's ready to execute. What we'll do is that we'll select these things so that I'll be able to see the options that are happening. Before this time it will not get finished. For running it, I have to ensure that the security level is disabled, and then only I'll be able to execute it. If security is already disabled, I'm going to execute it. Close the execution. We start the execution of the ransomware. Once it will start the execution, we will trace its activities. Here, we have already started the execution now. We will use these utilities like the proc1 and the process explorer. Let me search Waqar. This is the prop name. This actually they are getting the two variants, prop explorer and prop explorer 64. And since I'm using 64-bit machine, I have to use this. So I'll run this. We'll see what and all the different processes that are getting executed. Great. Yes. So, and this is the prop one utility. Here we will check where is found. And these are the different types of the processes that are currently executing on our system. See, the CPU usage is 99.5%.
Waqar, you need to speak a little loud.
Yeah, fine, sir, fine. So these are the different types of the processes that are currently executing on our system. So mm, here it will show the CPU percentage that is processed. Using what are the private number of bytes, what is the total working set, PID, and the description of the process. We'll directly go to our process like this ransomware process, and we'll see what are the different processes it has created. Here you will see, yeah, this is our ransomware, no? Ransomware process. It's executing. It has created this task.dl.exe. And I will give you all the information about it. Like it will create the process and it will disable this task.dlc. So here we have to see that the different types of the process it is creating. See, since the execution is currently undergoing, it will create multiple process and we will be able to see it in the form of tree also. Currently, it is creating one process that's task.dl. Once it will create it, then it will disable it. Task.dl is performing its activity and disabling it. We'll see. So since this execution will continue, we'll check the another tool what's happening there. Yeah. So that tool is the Procmon. We'll go to that tool. I do hope that this time it will not hang up. This utility will tell us what are the different things that are happening at the file system level. Yes. I will start running this. This cross monitor has started. Here you will see that there are a lot of things that are happening at the file system level. Currently it has it is showing 5083 events it is captured. Uh, if the process will continue, execution will continue, it will start creating a lot and lot of processes. What we'll do, I'm concerned about my process only. What I'll do, I'll filter it out and I'll check the results that is that's given by my ransomware process only. So to do that, I'll filter some of the results. To filter the results, it's providing one of the options that's called the filter option, and it will launch a filter tab there. In this filter, we'll be able to get our process like the ransomware process, and we'll select that process and we'll see what are the different things that our process is doing on the system. So here we have this functionality that we can select. How you want to filter on the terms of, in terms of the architecture and other things. Here there are a lot of things. Yeah. So um, we can do the filter on these categories. Like um, I'm gonna do this on the process name because I know what is the name of the process and that I have run. And here it will show the different types of the process that are executed. See, this was the binary that I have executed. I will check only the details about this process and I just edit and I'll just apply it. It will give me all the details that this process, like this ransomware process, is doing in the system. Yes, so this. Okay, so this is the entire detail that this ransomware process is doing. Like my system is getting. I have already saved this file as other Excel file. I'll show you the results there. Before that, I'll go to this process explorer. Let's see what is happening there. This slide I'll explain. Yes. So this is currently executing. The check what happened at the process explorer. So it's currently executing. This process currently executing and it has not created any of the process as of now. Yeah, there is one task.dl. It will create it and it will disable it. There is a different functionality for each of the processes there. So here you can see that process.dl has been created. Now I'll tell you what is this process.dl. So dynamic ransomware analysis. Once we will start running any ransomware application, it will in turn start one of the new process that's called the msssecssvc.exe. This is the process that is being created by our ransomware binary, this Wannacry binary. The task of this process is to check the vulnerability in the system. Once it's able to get the vulnerabilities in our system, it will create one more process. that process task.che. This task, the working of this task is there to get into the home directory of the system. Once this process will reach into the home directory of the system, it will then create three different processes, and these three different processes will do the rest of the things that will be there. So once it will get into the home directory of the system, how it will reach there? First there will be the ransomware process. That ransomware process will generate this process MSSEC svc.exe. The the functionality of this process is to find out the vulnerability in the system. Once this process is able to find out any vulnerability into the system, it will get into your system. Once it will reach into your system, it will try to generate one more process. That process is called the task ch.exe. What this process will do, it will get into your home directory, uh, and the further things will be done by this process only. So once it will get into your home directory, it will create one more process that's called the task.se. This task.se, it will do what it will do. It will do the, it will do the whole damage in the system. Whole damage in terms of the ransomware is that, like, it will start taking the data from the secondary storage, getting that data into the RAM, and start, encrypting that, and finally writing that back. So the work of this process is like this. Actual harm and the actual damage in the system uh, is done by this process. Parallelly, once this process is executing parallelly, there will be one more process that will be running. That's called the task.dl that I was showing. mm, Once I was showing you the results of the process flow. The working of this task.dl is that, its working is that it has to follow the detection mechanism. If there is the detection mechanism available within our system, the working of this task is that it has to follow the detection mechanism. It has to, it has to show the detection mechanism that this current task that I am running, it's not any malicious task. So it's there, like, once the task SE is executing, at the same time it's trying to fall out the system, that that there is no malicious task running, but in reality there is a malicious task running in terms of the task list. Similarly, we'll go, once these two tasks are running, then there is one more task that's called the Waqar decryptor. uh, After the execution of the ransomware, there you will see on the screen that there is some kind of interface provided to you. That interface will that interface will tell you that your system has been locked by the ransomware. You have to pay this much of the amount. So that thing is handled by this WannaCry decryptor. In return, WannaCry decryptor, it will create one more process. That's called the task svc.exe. So WannaCry decryptor creating this process, the aim of this process is to establish the connection with the, CNC server that I have mentioned in my, first lecture, that there is a server that we are having available there. So that server will be, will be controlling the infected system once the infection has happened. So this is the way that where which the ransomware will enter into a system. It will create the MSSEC process. Then it will create the one more task ch.exe. This task.ch will be placed in the home directory. Then it will create these three processes, and the one credit decryptor, once the system has complete the, execution, it will show up the interface that your system has been infected. And at the same time, if it want to communicate with the command and control system, it's having one more procedure that's called the task.exe. So this is, given that here it will find the vulnerable space in home directory, and similarly it will do the actual harm. And task.dl will be there to hold the, detection mechanism that this is not any malicious process running. So this is how we do the dynamic analysis. Like, we are actually running this system, and we are actually running the malware on the system. Once the malware has completed its execution, we are able to see that what and all different things is going in the system. So this was this thing. And let's see what else we can do. Are you having any questions in this? Yeah, here you can see that Waqar decryptor has start execution. Now it should launch this. But now it should launch an interface on the desktop of yeah. Here you will see that this the interface has been launched. So it will do all of these things in the sequence. Once it has task.cha has completed the execution, task.dl has completed full the direction mechanism. Then it will create this one decryptor.exe. The working of this is to and set up the interface in front of the user so that he should come to know that his system has been infected. So this was the thing that has happened today, and that has happened, and that we come to know by dynamically analyzing the ransomware. So one more thing that's there once we are dynamically analyzing the ransomware, that's the we have we have to see what are the different changes that are happening at the file system level. Since I was knowing that my system would get hacked, I have already stored that result in form of a log file. Here you will see that this is the result that I have generated. I have generated from this prop now. This is the malicious binary that is running. So here you will see this pattern there that there's a close file, create file, and other things. Here you will see this kind of pattern only. We will check one of the instance of it, and rest you will come to know by default that it's repeating the same pattern there. Are you having any doubt till this time?
Sir, one thing was this, like, because the ransomware is running, then how can we run the proc monitor 64 or proc monitor in the same time? Isn't it compiling the proc monitor files also means encrypting the proc monitor files?
No, no, no. Proc monitor is available with us in the form of binary only. It's not available with us in the form of like a text file or a PDF file.
Okay, so it doesn't compile the binary files, kind of
Yeah, yeah. pro- Like
encrypt.
ransomware will normally target those text files, PDF files, like the user data files. It will not normally attack the binary files and other files.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So I'll show you one of the. Here you will see like this is one of the instances, and that here you will see that this will create it will create a file. I have kept that highlighted somewhere. Hmm, good. Like we'll follow this sequence, right? So it will here this is the operation. What it will do? It will read a file. It will just normally read a file. It's a file there. This is the .js is the read file. It will read these number of the bytes, like it has read 8 bytes in this file. Similarly, in the next instance, in the next request, what it is doing, it's reading the file, but it's reading this time. It's reading the larger size, larger amount of the data in this file. So currently, it has done two operations, like the read operation of the same file. Now it will create the one more file, right? It will create the one more file. It will change the name of the previous file is this. It will create another file, and the extension of that file will be mm, like the Wannacry type extension. Then what it will do, it will start writing the data in that file only. So this is the sequence that we have followed at the file system level. That meaning that it will start reading the file, it will start creating the file with the Wannacry extension, and it will start writing the data into those files. Here you will see that entire operation will be like that only. Reading the file, creating the other file, and writing the data in there. So these are the keys that we were able to trace at the file system level once the ransomware was executed. Am I audible?
Yes, Waqar.
Yeah. So this was the this was the whole demo of the what we can do at the once we want to dynamically analyze the ransomware. We have done it via two methods. First is the checking the different checking what and all is happening at the level of the processes in the system. Second thing is that we have checked what and all is happening at the file system as a ransomware is acting. There is one more thing that I'm not covering in this because that will take some extra time. That's called what is happening. Uh, what's happening when the ransomware is running? What's happening at the network activity level? Right? What are the different IP addresses that the system is, calling once it's getting infected by the ransomware? That thing we can do. There's a utility. I don't know whether that's available with the sys internals or not. That's called the Wireshark. Wireshark is there that will trace the network activity on the network activity that the infected system will do and will do so via which we can get some idea that what are the possible servers that this ransomware is calling once it's getting infected. So are you having any doubt till this time?